Take two, yes.
Evidently, have to hit the button to make it go.
Yeah, we have to hit the record button every time. So we had a great discussion telling you all the things we did in Hong Kong. I hope you enjoy it.
So we'll start over.
We have to
we
start
were in
over.
Hong Kong.
We are in Hong Kong, China.
Yes. So, what a great city. I love Hong Kong.
Beautiful.
Okay. I might have to go back.
I would definitely put that back on the list. It was amazing how much I recognized.
Really?
Yeah. I was there in 1969 as a young lad when Hong Kong was still a British colony.
Right.
And I can tell you, I think they gave it back in 1999. They have
1997.
97. They have erased British colonism away. There was a great deal of it.
A great deal. Yes. Unfortunately, the boat got us in and out in a timely manner. We only had 8 hours.
Yeah,
in Hong Kong.
It was a very short visit. I think something changed between our first 2 stops in China because the timing was completely different from what we thought. But that's another story.
You sign up for these things a year in advance and don't pay much attention.
Don't pay much attention on the itinerary changes.
Indeed.
But we docked right in town.
Right in the middle of things, right in the thick of it.
Right where the old airport used to be. Now, the old airport came in over the mountains, and you dove. The planes came right between residential buildings. The runway extended out into the water, into the sea, and so hopefully the brakes stopped you before you went off the runway into the China Sea.
Hopefully.
We never had a problem.
Splash.
But now that area had been redeveloped as the cruise and ferry terminal.
Yes, and that's
was
right
very
where
nice.
we went in. So we came off the ship and we were immediately in an enormous, beautiful mall.
Dumped into a mall, cleverly enough.
It was, and we spent every single Hong Kong
second and dollar that we had.
Indeed, yeah, we spent it all. So
yeah, we did good.
But I could go back.
Yes, the Amy had looked. You'd looked over the cruise ship tours, and they were all kind of lame.
Well, I'm discovering quickly that they don't give you a lot of free time.
No, they don't.
Pile on and off the bus, and you're eating up a lot of time when you're sharing a bus with 30 people.
Yeah,
I mean that's
and
frustrating.
Particularly if you have people that need assistance.
Exactly.
As we did on 2 of our tours.
Which sometimes works to your advantage because then you have extra time that you
do
can
a
sneak
quick
away.
Sneak away and do a quick photo or shop.
This is an incredible bridge we're going by.
Yes, it is.
I want to look around.
Go ahead and take a look.
Wow.
Well, we'll move our heads out. There's the bridge. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Look at that. Huh. Yeah.
So
we're sailing away from Shanghai.
Shanghai, and we'll talk about that in the next episode.
Exactly.
But just so you know, the background is not Hong Kong, it's Shanghai.
Right.
So because we had such a limited amount of time, Amy arranged a driver and a private tour guide.
And I did it through the boat because I knew we only had this much time, and I figured if something happened, they won't leave without you if they arrange the excursion.
If they arrange the tour.
So that was one advantage. And we got to do exactly what we wanted to do. We had to wait for other people.
Yeah.
So we were able to fit a lot more into the day. I had always looked past those things, at the bottom of the excursion list. It always offers the car and driver. And I'm like, but
they're usually pricey. They're usually pricey.
They are.
But in this situation,
it was worth it.
Yeah, I mean, the 2 of us for one of the other tours, I think the private driver was only 200 more. Or 100 more or something?
200.
200, yeah. And we actually had the option, if we had 2 other people, we could have split the cost 4 ways, which would have brought it down. But it was perfect for the 2 of us.
Oh, yeah. Then you're not like, what do you want to do?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We had the itinerary. The woman thought about it, May. This is May. She thought about the tour, what we wanted to do. Boom, like that. She had the whole itinerary planned out.
Yep.
And we actually had more time than we expected because she was dead set on making sure she didn't. The boat would have charged us if she hadn't called and said, we're done at 4 hours.
Right.
So the boat would have just kept meter going.
Exactly. So we picked up May right at 8:30, and since that's before the shops open or anything else, she said, let's go on up to Victoria Peak.
Yes.
And that was one thing that Jeff said he wanted to do again, because she had done it before.
Yes. Now, back in '69, I was with my younger brother and sister and my parents, and we took the tram, the incline that cranks. It's a really steep climb to Victoria
so you're
Peak.
laying in the thing.
Yeah. So we were able to drive right up there. We really lucked out because it was a holiday and there was very little traffic.
Yeah.
And the ferry that you used to take from Kowloon to Hong Kong Island, would take maybe 20, 25 minutes.
Well,
mainly because you had to load it.
Yeah,
it's
unload,
a short ride.
and you're waiting. Yeah.
Well, that was replaced with a tunnel, and we just
zoom.
Couple kilometers underwater, and we were on the island.
May knew just the right places for us to stand for the optimal pictures, and she told us about the tall buildings, and then she said, "You need anything inside?" And I said, "I need a magnet, and I need a postcard."
She goes, "Perfect. They have little tourist shops here at the Peak."
So we found a little shop, and I found just what I wanted, plus a nice-ish pair of chopsticks.
Yeah, they're gaudy, flashy. They're cool, with little rest and everything.
Yeah. It's just one pair though, one set.
No, it's two. We each have a pair.
Okay.
I think you should go look. Yeah.
Not right now.
Okay. We'll put a photo in.
They were inexpensive.
Yes, they were gift shop quality.
Yes, and that's what I wanted. But maybe soon we'll find some. I want some nice enamel ones too. But so then we hopped back in our van, and then she took us jade shopping.
Well, okay, we'll skip the architecture discussion.
Oh no, now's the time.
So May was very knowledgeable, and she pointed out all the new buildings that had been built over the last 20, 30 years. And so one was the Bank of Hong Kong that was completed, I can't remember if it was late 80s, early 90s, but in its day, it was the most expensive building constructed per square foot. It was like over $1,000 a square foot.
To build it. Wow.
To build it, yeah. But it's a cool building. And then she pointed out this one building that didn't sit well, she said, with the Chinese because it had very sharp points. And I said, well, that's a signature design of a Chinese architect, I.M. Pei. She goes, how do you know I.M. Pei? I said, well, he has buildings in the U.S., and I used to be an architect, and I know his work.
There's one in Washington.
Yes, the National Gallery.
Comes to a point.
A point, yes.
And then, of course, the pyramid in the Louvre.
In the Louvre, yes.
Yeah.
So it was fun to see the buildings. And so a lot of the newer buildings I hadn't kept up with contemporary architecture. I had heard of the architects, but not necessarily that building. So that was fun. And so by now it's 9:30ish, and she goes, the jade shop will be open.
I called them ahead. They're waiting for us.
They're waiting for us. So we had a great driver. I mean, he just pulled right up to the curb, let us out real quick, and we enter this little lobby with a woman behind a 2-foot desk, and she's looking at us funny. And there's a small elevator that maybe holds 4 people. We take it up, it kind of rattles to the 3rd floor, and we get off, and there's a buzzer with the door.
Yep.
And then on the other side of that door, there's a little vestibule with another, did I say vegetable or vestibule?
Vestibule.
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 Vule, there we go.
But that's called a man trap.
It's a man trap.
Yeah.
you couldn't get through both doors simultaneously.
Right, right.
So kind of like an airlock kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so they buzzed us into this beautiful showroom with all types of pearl and jade jewelry.
And Jane had said, you can trust this company. They're a wholesaler.
Yeah.
You're going to get authentic jade here. You won't get counterfeit.
Right.
So I was glad to hear that. I wanted something I could trust.
Well, we held the jade up to the light to look for little inclusions to make sure it wasn't artificial.
Right.
Which is really clear.
You should be able to see clouds and specks.
Yeah, if it's real jade. Yeah. So we learned that little trick.
Yes.
And,
so the piece I got, I actually was wearing on the previous podcast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. When we were just looking, I saw that I had it on. So,
okay. You'll see it in the previous episode.
And you'll see it again. So please, if you see me, you'll see it. Yeah.
Yeah, and by far, that video has been seen by nearly 200 people.
That one's not posted yet.
Okay.
Remember, we're reading the post until.
Oh, you're right. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is coming up soon. So. Yes.
True. So we looked at jade, and believe it or not, I saw two beautiful pieces. The one that Amy got, plus her earrings, and there was a second piece. And damn, if I didn't try to get her to get both, because they were both beautiful.
They were.
But it was the second piece was very expensive.
It was.
But beautiful.
It was.
And unique.
I am happy with what I got.
I know you are.
Yeah.
So I did such a great job of bargaining. First, the young woman that helped Amy says, "Here's the price, but I will take this to my manager to get you the best price." He comes over and he's thinking a little bit. He gets out his calculator.
Makes a good show of it.
Yeah. He gave us a pretty good price.
He did.
And in my mind, I'd already settled on a number.
Oh.
And so I offered $2,100.
Yes.
And that was Hong Kong, right? Oh. No, that was U.S. Okay.
Yeah.
$2,100. But that was for the necklace and the earrings. But wait, there's more.
And he threw out his hand. Is like, I'm not letting you go back on that.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
He shook my hand really quick. Deal was done, and he must have felt a little guilty or very happy with the sale.
Yeah.
Because he gave Amy a beautiful
string of pearls. Bigger than I would normally get. But honestly, I think they look amazing.
Yeah, I mean, they can be dressy or kind of casual.
Exactly. Not so small that they kind of blend in. So they're more of a statement.
Statement piece, yeah.
Yeah.
So we had a great time, and they treated us royally. They brought Amy tea, brought me a Coca-Cola while we were looking around. And I went around the shop, and they did have jade chopsticks. But they were...
I can only imagine.
Quite a few thousands a pair.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I would think they would have to be slippery. I don't know.
Oh, I would imagine. Huh?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, we had those funky, I think we talked about them at the Korean place, the stainless steel chopsticks.
Right. Don't work.
That you couldn't hold. They
Don't
were
work.
Like, didn't work.
Yeah.
Okay. So after our successful jade adventure, we did a cultural trip. And this was something May highly recommended we did.
She said if you're coming to Hong Kong, you should see this. And
because the tourist buses don't go there. And what was it? It was a Buddhist nunnery and temple.
Yes.
So there were some monks there, but it was mainly a residential and learning teaching place for the nuns.
It was an oasis in the middle of the city, too.
Yeah, it
I mean,
was.
you could see skyscrapers all around you, but this beautiful garden
well, as part of the temple, they did have a beautiful formal garden.
Yes.
With a I guess it was more decorative pagoda more than it was ceremonial.
This one, yeah.
But it sort of looked like that. I don't know. Maybe we'll do a photo of it.
I have lots
I
of
got
photos.
photos, yes.
Yeah.
But it was a cool place, and the gardens, were beautiful.
And had a rockery, which
where
is...
they worked on the rocks and made them
and lots
special.
of bonsai.
And they had a beautiful bonsai, bonsais throughout the whole garden.
Yeah. But they had an exhibit.
An exhibit.
Remember what she said about the building? No nails.
Oh, yes. It was all put together, timber,
Piece
interlocking,
by piece.
almost like Lego Lincoln Logs.
I suppose, yeah.
There wasn't even pegs. Everything was jointed to fit and slide in, and the weight locked pieces in.
And it was absolutely beautiful.
It was.
And old.
Old, yeah.
So, I mean, it was standing the test of time.
It had been there longer than Hong Kong as
Or
a
if it
city.
says on my postcard.
I don't know.
Very little information on this postcard.
Yeah, we'll have to look it up. But it was old, a few hundred years at least.
Beautiful. I was very glad that she took us there. The gardens were fantastic. They also had a cutie little gift shop. I got some tea in there with a cute little tea container.
Oh yeah, the one that the tea actually came in. Yes.
Yeah.
It was pretty pricey, but it was sort of a tourist thing, and money was for the
nuns to do their good work. Yeah, absolutely.
So it wasn't that bad. Well, having said that, from the nunnery we went tea shopping.
That was one of the things I told May that I wanted to do.
If you're going tea shopping, bring some money, because the tea we got was not for the faint of heart.
Oh, but I bet I have 5 years worth of tea. Easy.
Well, it depends
Some
how
I
much
have
we
to
drink it.
Yeah.
We got some unique tea flavors like ginseng oolong.
So you don't just walk in the store and glance around and say, "I'll take this, this, and that." No.
Unless you know what you're doing.
Sure.
We didn't.
We sat down and he demonstrated to us how to make it.
We asked for the tea tasting experience.
Yeah.
And so they have a tray that all your accoutrements sit on, and it's like a drain board. And so the first thing they do, he's taking boiling water, pouring it into our cups, heating our cups. He pours the water all over the teapot and kind of warms that up. And then he made the first batch of tea, steeps it real quick.
And then he pours that out too.
He seasons our glass with it, and then dump that out. Then we drank the next three steepings. Yeah, I don't know what the true tea word is.
And that's the way I like tea. I like loose leaf tea because I do it over and over and over again, because I prefer pretty weak tea anyway.
But each tasting, the tea got a little stronger. I like the later taste, because the first taste was like, I'm tasting leaves and water. But by the second or third, because you are drinking teeny little cups. I mean, it's not like a 16-ounce mug of hot water and tea. You could. But I think you miss
the subtlety.
The subtlety of getting the different, exact same leaf. It's like getting a different aged wine. The flavors just come out. It becomes heartier, more robust. I enjoyed that steeping experience.
You got to see how it's supposed to be done. I did buy one of the little pots.
You did.
So I'm glad for that.
We'll have to translate to Fahrenheit, but the little pot Amy got was for hot teas up to 80 Celsius.
Yes. I believe.
Yeah, that's the hottest temperature you want. And then other teas we got were supposed to be at 70 Celsius.
We got a special tea that was new green tea, which they only sell for 3 months out of the year. Probably tells us to every tourist that comes in, but
I don't know.
It really was a special taste to it.
It's a green tea, and they pick it in the spring. It's the first 3 months of the growth. So the leaves are very small and delicate, tender. They were good. And then regular green tea, I guess they harvest after that with the older leaves.
Yeah.
And they kind of turn, even though it's called green tea, the leaves were a little more yellow when he showed us the bag. But the leaves we got are just
they're
tiny and delicate.
Yeah,
that was cool. That was a lot of fun.
Then I saw on the little placard where we were sitting, he had these little flowers that were dehydrated, and you put them in the tea and they bloom.
Yeah.
So I cannot wait to get home to try and do that.
What did you do? Okay, we're still recording. We thought we had, like we did the first time, the computer went to sleep and we weren't recording. Okay.
So yes, the flower blooms right in your teacup.
In the teacup. So you almost need a clear glass for that, so you can see it springing to life, kind of. So that'll be fun.
So my friends who love tea, you need to hit me up when you get home.
There you go.
Yeah. So I was just thrilled with the tea experience, and we spent a lot, but
So
where else can you get it?
So at this point, we're nearing our 4 hours.
Yeah.
And we had fit everything in that we wanted. And we still had a few minutes. So May recommended, she said there's this place on the way back towards the harbor, the cruise terminal, that is like where all the locals go. One of the best dim sum restaurants around. And I have to believe it because I think we were the only two round eyes in the place. Everyone else was local. I'm guessing they had tables, big tables. It seemed
like it was a family. Well, because it was a holiday, so I think people were enjoying their families. Now, May didn't just drop us off at the mall and say, it's up there on the 3rd floor. No.
She called and made us a reservation.
She did.
Which was good because the place was packed.
They had a table right when we got there. She walked us all the way up to the restaurant. I thought she'd drop us at least at the door and say, have fun.
Nope, she walked us all the way to our table and told the hostess to take good care of us.
And opened the menu and pointed out a few things for us. I'm like, May, go, your time is up. Yeah, we got it.
She says, we're okay. I already called the ship and said the tour was over.
Oh, okay.
Because if we exceeded the 4 hours, we would keep getting billed. She says, don't worry. I have time. I will walk you up there.
Now, one thing she did say is you need to order quickly because you can draw this out if you don't.
Right.
So I felt like we were under pressure to pick things really quickly. I don't know that we made the best selection.
Well, we kind of went with what the woman recommended. So we did an egg roll kind of, except it was different. It was a long egg roll, more like a thick pretzel.
It was 8 inches long.
Yeah.
We got a bao bun.
Yeah. So the egg roll was shrimp. We got a pork bao bun. Now
barbecue pork bao bun.
And it wasn't a soft.
It's a little stickier than the bao we get at home.
I mean, it was steamed, but it wasn't damp. I don't know. It was a drier type of bread.
Right.
And then underneath that, boom. We pulled another, when we finished the 2 bao, we pulled the tray off, and we had 4 more dumplings underneath.
Those were the shrimp ones, I think. They were a little ball of shrimp inside. Seemed good to me.
Okay.
Now, I will say I got up and went to the ladies, and I saw some really good food around us. So.
Yeah. Well, people that know how to read the menu.
Yeah, they know what they want. So I'll be better the next time I get them something.
Yeah. There is no English.
There was a tiny little bit, but
the menu did not have English versions. It had a few words.
Maybe yours didn't mind it.
Oh, maybe so. Huh. Okay. Well, I take that back. If, I don't remember any English in the one I looked at, just pictures, and I'm pointing. Now, the woman did know the word shrimps. because you never have a shrimp. You always have shrimps. Even if it's one, it's shrimps.
Okay.
And we had some chicken and pork.
Yes.
I don't think we had any beef.
Not that I recall.
Yeah, I think we had 2 shrimps dishes.
And yes. It was lovely. I would definitely go back to this restaurant again. I would just peruse through the menu a little longer than we did.
Well,
we were overwhelmed, so yeah.
Yes, and we had about an hour before we had to be back to the ship.
Right.
So I didn't walk out of there hungry. I was full with what we had.
No, I was full. Yeah. It was fun.
And it was it was very good, very filling, and it was also the cheapest eating out that we had. I mean,
That's true.
It was not much more than $20-some.
It was 30.
30.
But still.
But that included the built-in
For
service
both
charge.
of us. And we had a pot of tea with
And
it.
a pot of tea.
Jasmine tea.
Jasmine tea.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought it was quite the bargain.
Yeah.
For what we got. And yes, it would have been nice if we could have had the time. We could have invited May to maybe stick around and buy her lunch, and she could tell us what the good stuff is.
Indeed, yeah. So next time.
Next time. We got her card. Anybody going to Hong Kong,
Yeah.
let us know in advance. This woman is good. Her
Very
English
good guide.
is
Very good guide.
excellent.
Yeah.
She holds a British passport.
She travels freely.
Yes. Speaking of which, the holiday that was going on was where you go and pay respects to your elders and the deceased elders. And she had actually mentioned she had a trip planned. She had to go to Taiwan to go to where her parents were buried to pay respects to them. So she was going to be traveling shortly to fulfill her obligation. And so I thought that was kind of interesting.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That was our day in Hong Kong.
Yeah, brief as it was. Did we drink a Hong Kong beer? Did we get a beer anywhere?
I don't think we did.
I don't think we did.
We'll have to go back just to get a beer.
Yeah, that's the whole reason we're going back. And to buy another piece of jade.
For you this time.
Yeah, there's no manly jade pieces that they had.
Yeah, not so much.
Yeah. I was looking around for like a little figurine or something, because my Chinese birth sign is the ram.
Oh.
And they had a carved ram. And, it was a nice size statue, but that was $13,000 US.
Of course.
Yeah. And I'm going like, yeah, no.
I got a little piece.
Yeah. You got a little teeny one I could put a piece of rope through?
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah. Or a tiger would have been neat.
Yeah. I was born in the year of the tiger.
Yes. Yes. And I get offended when back home they call it the year of the sheep. Because the symbol when they draw it is a ram with the horns. It's
definitely different.
much more manly
Yes.
than a sheep.
So our postcard today,
Yes.
who do you want to send it to? Still, you need to send your requests. We haven't gotten any requests.
Nobody's sending in requests. I guess we burned them out last year.
Yeah.
Who's due up? We've sent to people in Aberdeen. We
could send it to Alabama Linda,
We could send it to Alabama Linda,
who is watching faithfully. So
Yes.
thank you for that. Yes, someday we'll go to Hong Kong together.
Yep, that would be fun.
Yep. Okay, so
We did learn that Chinese people use bye-bye. So I'm sitting there asking this young man who had, he spoke
his
a little bit
English
of
was
English.
pretty decent.
And I said, okay, I know ni hao is hello. I said, how do we say goodbye? And he goes, oh, we just say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So,
Okay.
bye-bye.